Hey guys, it's me, Kinley, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We never finished Witch Witch Chapter 1, so this is me finishing it. This will be Witch Witch Chapter 1 Part 2. So anytime we don't finish a chapter, I will put in parts. It's going to be a long road with this book. Okay, so stick it out for the ride. If not, oh well. Choose different. This is like an me video audiobook thing, but I need to finish this book. And if you want to watch this video, you can. But just in case, finish the book, y'all. It's going to be a hard read, but it is an easy read, but it's going to be a long read. So let's get into it. So last time, we were talking about Esmeralda and her caravan. So I'm going to start on page 9, last time since we left off, and I'll restart the page. Alright. People who came out of it looked as though they didn't know it hit them. She tells the truth, explained Lester, sniffing happily at the remembered fairground smells. Fried onions, ooh, that's good. You know what's really good? Fried pickles. You dip them in ranch, perfecto. At the remembered fairground smells, fried onions from the hamburger stall, hot engine oil from the bump cars, none of that garbage about dark strangers and journeys across the sea. Esmeralda was a frizzy-haired lady in pink satin blouse. Aaron had left off his musician's cloak and changed into gray pinstripe, but the look she gave him was very sharp indeed. For you, it will be a $5. I guess like a 5 cents, $5. She said, sit down. She pocketed the money, took a swig from a bottle labeled Gordon's Gin, Esmeralda, and began to stare into the crystal ball. She stared for a long time, then pushed the ball away and lit a cigarette. It's all right, she said. He's coming. Who? Who's coming? The new bloke, said Esmeralda. I think the new boy or the new guy, new person. The one that's going to take over from you. Aaron looked bewildered. What new bloke? Person. Esmeralda closed her eyes wearily. Do you want me to spell it out for you? She put on a posh voice and droned. Soon there cometh a great new wizard, whose power shall be mightier and darker even than your own. When this great new wizard cometh, you airmen, the awful, will be able to lay down the burden of darkness and evil, which you've carried for so long. She opened her eyes. Got it? She said nastily. Oh, yes, Airman said happily. I suppose you don't know when he cometh? Nope. Esmeralda snapped. I don't. Next customer, please, Esmeralda said. After he visited Esmeralda, Airman was happy. Just to fill in the time, he planted over a briar hedge, whose thorns oozed blood, ran an oil tanker underground on top of the cliffs nearby. And he invented a new spell for making people's hair fall out. I wouldn't know what that happened to me. I got really long hair. I'd be like, ah! Hairs fall out. But most of the time he spent by the main gate, watching and waiting for the new wizard to come. It was cold work. Darkington Hall was far north as you can get without bumping into Scotland. So I'm thinking they're in England or like Norway, so like that area, because that Scotland, or like Ireland, because Scotland and Ireland are kind of close together, I think. If you're a geography person, tell me where it is. And when, after a week, Aaron found a chilblain on his left toe, he very sensibly decided to make a wizard watcher. For the wizard watcher body, he would use a sea lion shape, but larger and furrier, with slopping, rather curly chest. The watcher had 4 feet and 1 tail, but it had 3 heads, something like 4 legs. Oh, kind of like a Cerberus. It's like the three-headed dog that guards the gates of hell or hate the underworld. Keen-sighted and beautiful eyes set on short talks. Every day at sunrise, this gentle and very useful monster would waddle down the avenue, past the blackened trees shaped like gallows, past the oozing well and the debris maze, and sit in the gateway, watching for the wizard. It watched in this way day after day, month after month, year after year, in the middle of the head looking north over the moors, the left head looking west across the forest, the right head looking east toward the sea. Then on the 990th day of just sitting there, the wizard watcher lost heart and became gloomy and annoyed. He cometh not from the north, said the middle head, as it done every day for 989 days. He not cometh from the west neither, said the left head, nor from the east he does not cometh. He cometh. He said the right head, and our feet are freezing. Our feet are blinking, dropping off. Left head, there was pause. You know what I think? I think the old man's bid had. You mean there ain't going to be no new wizard? You mean there ain't going to be no new wizard, said the left head. The middle head nodded. This time the pause was a long one. Don't fancy telling him, said the right head. Someone's got to, said the middle head. So the monster turned and lumbered back to the hall, where it found Airman in his bedroom dressing for dinner. Well, what's the news? The new wizard cometh not from the north, began the maiden, nor the west, nor from the west he doesn't cometh, said the left head. And you can forget the east, said the right head, because their new wizard doesn't cometh from there neither. Then, speaking all together, the 3 heads said bravely, We think you've been taken for a ride. Airman stared at them aghast. You can't mean it. It isn't possible. He turned to Lester, who was getting ready to trim his master's mustache. His little thin, little trim on the mustache. What do you think? The owner rubbed his forehead under his eye patch and looked worried. I'd never known Esmeralda to make a mistake, sir, but it's been a long... He was interrupted by a terrible shriek from Airman, who was peering into the mirror, clutching his head. A white hair, yelled the magician. A white hair in my cursed curl. Oh, the shades of darkness and perdition. This is the end. One gray hair, guys. He's being a little bit dramatic, don't you think? His shriek brought back Mr. Letterbeard, his secretary, hurrying to the room. Letterbeard, not Ledbetter. Mr. Ledbetter had been born with a small tail, which made him think that he was a demon. This is a silly thing to think, because quite a lot of people have small tails. The Duke of Wellington had one, and had a very special hole made into his saddle when he rode to the Battle of Waterloo. Mr. Ledbetter hadn't known about the Duke of Wellington, and had wasted a lot of time trying to rob banks and so on, until he realized that crime didn't suit him, and he became Airman's secretary instead. Are you all right, sir? He said anxiously. You seem upset. Upset? I'm finished. Devastated. Don't you know what white hair means? It means old age. It means death. It means the end of wizardry and darkness, and the doom at Darkington. And where is the new wizard? Where? The monster sighed. He not cometh from the north, began the midhead. I know he not cometh from the north, you dolt, snapped the great man. That's exactly what I'm complaining about. What am I gonna do? I can't wait forever. Mr. Ledbetter coughed. Have you ever considered the marriage? The sudden flash of fire from Airman's nostrils, and from behind the paneling, Sir Simon gave a gurgle. Marriage, me marry. Are you out of... Wait, gurgling groan. Marriage? Me marry? Are you out of your mind? If you were to marry, sir, it would ensure succession, said Mr. Ledbetter calmly. What on earth are you talking about? Airman said, who was feeling thoroughly miserable and therefore cross. He means you could have a wizard baby. Then it could take over for you. A son, you know, said Lester. Aaron was silent. A son. For a moment he imagined a baby sitting in his pram, a dear little fellow, tearing marrow, bone to shreds. Then he flinched. Who would I marry? He muttered miserably. But of course he knew. All of them he knew. There was only one kind of person a wizard can marry, and that is a witch. It wouldn't be so bad, maybe, said the lieutenant encouragingly. Wouldn't be so bad? Are you out of your mind? A great black crone with warts and blisters and dimensional places from crashing about on her broom. You want me to sit opposite one of those every morning, eating my cornflakes? I believe witches have changed since began Mr. Ledbetter. But Airman wouldn't listen, running along the corridors in her horrible nightgown, shrieking and flapping, getting egg on her whiskers, expecting her cat to sleep on her bed. No doubt. She might not. Every time I went into the kitchen for a snack, she'd be there, stirring things in her filthy pot, rubbishly, frogs' tongues, and newt eyes, all balderdash. Never a decent bit of steak in this place. I spent once she came, but cleaning her foul yellow teeth in my washbin, raged Airman, now getting more and more hysterical. Oh, worse, not cleaning her foul yellow teeth in my washbin. Sink. She could have her own bathroom, said the middlehead, but nothing could stop Airman, who stormed ranted for another 10 minutes. Then turning suddenly very calm, said, very well, I see that it is my duty. A wise decision, said his secretary. How should I choose? His voice was mere thread. It would have to be a Toadcaster witch, I suppose. Otherwise, there's bound to be a bad feeling, but how do we decide which witch? As to that, sir, I have an idea. That's the end of chapter 1, guys. I will read chapter 2 next time when I'm here. My dad. But yeah. Thank you again for letting me read chapter 1, part 2 again. Not chapter 2. Chapter 1, part 2 for the book. I know I didn't get to finish chapter 1 last time I read to y'all, so I wanted to make up and post another video today, even though I posted one yesterday, because I felt bad not finishing the chapter for you. So yeah, subscribe, like. If you don't like it, tell me what I can fix in the comments. I'm turning on the comments again. So yeah, see you guys next time.